love it.
I like it.
I met it to you.
No, the dead end. Really needed it. Cheesy. Yeah, that's how I liked it.
I thought it looked healthy, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's much healthier.
Yeah, it really needed it.
Yeah, you were doing well.
Yes. It was like
You didn't color.
No. It just it lost its shape.
So her hair always looks healthy, but I could tell. Yeah.
You know when it loses shape?
I love the fact that she's like thin.
Yeah.
What is it called when you do that? She does it for my mouth. Texture.
Yeah. 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 No, she did a good job. Thank God. Well, like Ali was telling me. Ali was telling me. He was telling me.
Oh my God.
He goes, because
you know why لأنه سريعين.
Yes. He's like, I don't know. A bit too much.
In about 5-6 minutes, we'll start. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Kaya daw, you going to Bethlehem?
Let's see it work out. Are you going now?
Didn't she say on Facebook? I said I'm going.
Really?
Tell us, dude, are you going?
There's
It's hard for the kids too, right? No, I'm saying it's hard to decide.
I'm working on spring break, so if I go for 6 days, I'll be back at Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Look at me.
There you go. When they're off. Yeah.
We'll be off.
And you would butt them when you're there, and that's the least. That's the last.
Do you have any family there?
Yeah. I have my entire mom's
So that might work.
my in-laws are there. My mother and father.
Yeah,
She
we're-
worked
I
with the
mean-
girls. Yeah, I mean, I had her.
Yeah.
In and out.
Versus if I take the girls, I might have to stay for another week and stay with family and it's still a tough stuff. And then you have family there.
Where? Palestine?
Yeah.
Just one uncle, one aunt.
So we just go for a couple of days.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna do it, unfortunately. It's hard with my kids, right?
So how long would you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever the marriage
Whether ولا مولانا? You probably know, maybe. It would be nice. أهلك كده.
They're coming next. Yeah. Maybe in June, when they're
Just say you lost it.
Like, oh my God. No, he might kill you.
Or knock that down?
Yeah, he might kill you.
Literally.
How's streaming?
It looks like we're up, but that doesn't mean.
Do you want me to check?
Yeah, I'm trying to look right now. I'm like checking on the phone.
Okay, I'll check with you. Just in case.
Your password?
The next thing, if somebody has a cable from the iPhone, we can connect to the iPhone to the laptop, and we'll be using you.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Rush, you're on.
Okay, great, awesome.
Yeah.
What? What about it?
That's when I get my.
But not right here.
Because it's like, I didn't know.
Yeah, she put it on Facebook. She put a beautiful view outside.
Okay, backyard.
Her backyard. MashaAllah. Where did you move?
One Hill.
Nice.
Right off of 167 and right by Greenway School. I don't know if you're familiar.
You're my neighbor. Yeah. I'm on 167.
Oh, mashallah, that's beautiful. You have a lake behind. You have a lake.
Oh my God, it's too so
It was like it's taking probably out of it.
years ago when I stopped
I don't know.
I don't have her number. There it is. Do I have her number? And then here's, this was, she needs to be here for and then my backyard kind of just like these.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call her.
No, I
New house.
That's really
backyard.
mean, I don't wanna put you down. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right. I don't know. Are they okay?
guys, we'll start in 5 minutes because if anybody is tuning in, we've got about 5-6 people are tuning in. So, guys, we're going to start in 5 minutes. Well, actually, 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
That's me working.
Oh, you made those?
Tana wanted to do her own. Tana wanted to do her own.
You could sell my
Anywhere.
Oh,
Oh, you got something to go?
yeah.
With flags?
Right there.
Do what you got.
Like exactly.
Hello. Oh my God. How are you? What's going on? How are you, sweetie?
Long time no see. Ridiculous.
Good. How are you?
Okay. Running around like crazy, but one day at a time.
How are you?
What's going on with your daughter's recital?
So she did her first card, 6th, 7th graders. So I was able to come right after her card.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
But Nan can't make it because we're also doing
Why?
she observed the dance class.
Okay, so she's
She might
there.
make it here though.
Yeah.
She's there till 7:30. And then I asked them what time we're meeting, and they said 8:45. About,
I know.
You might die. You might just die.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm not getting close to that. So
Anybody wants coffee? It's buffalo.
Yes.
There's some coffee here.
Are you? You know, I almost stopped.
I did. I never drink this. I thought so good.
I don't even know how big they are.
I have,
in the morning.
you drink it glass?
Yeah.
Try this one.
Capital R.
Oh,
No, take your time. Capital R. U, small caps lock. U, N, N, E, R, S, runners. So capital R, U, N, N, E, R, S, and then 2 exclamation marks. 1, 2 exclamation marks.
All right, guys, let's get this ball rolling. You all can have a seat. We'll
Okay,
get
tell me,
started.
left or right?
Capital R.
Towards you? Well, he's gonna stand. But where are you gonna stand? Because we're trying to center it.
Capital R. Okay.
She's watching it, so I'm trying to center it.
Okay, good.
Are you gonna be right there?
Yeah.
I don't know. Put it over
This right here.
I don't want to. There's next to. Hey, Murid. Love.
thank you.
You're welcome. You have. Oh, nice. You guys see? Alex, how we doing, man?
Wait till he starts.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
I have a copy, so do you need anything now or just read it? Or George is going to do this one?
I would definitely do a test.
That's past.
Alex, we're gonna start, man. Like,
That's
are
fine.
you ready?
Everybody passes.
All right.
You want me to back it?
Okay. I think it's moving now.
Team.
Follow the lead.
How's everybody doing? All right. So first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Mhm.
And before we even begin, I want to take a moment and say thank you very much, Mel via Kicks. You know, Mel has been a supporter of Team Palestine from day one. I mean, he was the first sponsor actually for Team Palestine for PCR. When we first started the team, he was the first guy called the sponsor, and he was the first one to say yes. So, and also want to thank our friends and family who are joining us online. Hello to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. You know, I'll tell you what. I mean, we're all team, we're all family, we're all friends. And but I got to tell you, this was the one meeting out of all the meetings that we've done where I came in feeling a little bit nervous, a little bit tense, because even as, you know, besides maybe Bob, as Palestinians, we do understand the situation back home, but there's a true reality right now is that here, you know, the road to Bethlehem is what we're calling it, the Palestine Marathon. Here it is, the race of a lifetime. I mean, it really is. This is a once in a lifetime. And I know for everybody who is going to be running this race, whether it's the 10K all the way up to the marathon, this is a beautiful moment for everybody who's going to be part of this trip, especially for the ones who are going to go the first year. I mean, this is the one. We're the ones who are going to set the stage, God willing, for many years to come. And I got to tell you, you know, coming into this meeting, you know, and me and Suzanne, we talked about this several times. We said, you know, how do we approach this meeting? How do we get them excited for the race? You know, do we have to kind of maybe some of the negatives, only tell them the positives? But I'm here to say that this is the race of a lifetime. But you have to know that going into this race, we cannot guarantee anybody's safety, because that is the number one question that everybody's asking. So before we even move on, it's important to note that we're going to do this race, whether it's 2 people or 60 people, whether the condition is or whether the condition is not great. And, you know, I want to open up by saying that maybe, just maybe, we can promote this race as saying it's non-political, but the truth is, it is political. Because the minute you get out of the plane, if you plan on landing in Tel Aviv, the minute you walk into the airport, it is political. Because you're going to be questioned. There's a chance that you may be held over. There's a chance that they may check your accounts, your Facebook, your email. There's a chance that you're going to be stopped at a checkpoint. Actually, there isn't a chance. That is going to happen. So it all comes down to this. We can't let those things stop us, because what they want us to say we don't want to go. They want us to say, you know what, this isn't worth it. Let's just stay here. But we're Team Palestine. We can't let that happen. So, you know, I just want to open up by saying we're moving forward. It's called Right to Movement, and we're moving forward with this. So please know going in, no matter what, if the race is on, we are going as a team. We are going as Team Palestine. So, you know, almost everybody I've talked to about the race, they always ask, well, how's the condition? How is it? Is it bad? Is it good? We know the deal. You know, there's areas that are good. There's areas that are not so good. Around the area of the race, it's pretty good. But you know what I know, I can't guarantee that. We don't know what the situation is day to day. We do, actually. Sometimes we do, but we don't know what area. Does it really affect us? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. So I just want to open up and say, let's do this as a team. For friends and family who are not here that say they want to go, let's encourage them to go. You know, I know Bob is here, our non-Palestinian. Give Bob a hand. You know, Bob represents that person who, yes, you know, he represents that guy that has not been to Palestine, and he's going in a little bit curious. And Bob is the guy that I talk to now, and I don't want to sell something to Bob or somebody that's listening online. You know, we don't want to sell something that's not the truth. You know, I'm not going to sell this Right to Movement Marathon. We're not going to sell this Right to Movement Marathon as this event that's taking place in Hawaii, right? You know, Right to Movement Marathon is about running a race in Bethlehem that really showcases and symbolizes the Palestinian struggle. It shows what we've been through and what the Palestinian people are going through every day, how they're not able to move, how they're not able to go from place A to place B, how they're being occupied. So yes, we're not going in there trying to give you lessons or tips about the Palestinian way or the political climate or what side you need to be on. The reality is you're going to run this race and you're going to see for yourself. Most of you already know, but you're going to see for yourself. So I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking this unbelievable step. I can't put it into words. This to me is the moment that we've been waiting for. This is the moment for Team Palestine, for PCRF, to really put ourselves on the map. The race director, who's going to be joining us momentarily, George is his name. He's the race director. He'll be joining us via Skype in about 10-15 minutes. We're working on the signal right now. He'll be joining us during the race. We can ask him questions as well, because I don't want to answer there every day. So I don't want to answer questions where I'm not there every day. So we're hoping to get George through and be able to go through some things. Okay. With that said, we're going to get right into it. I think the most important thing is let's talk about the itinerary. Let's actually talk about the beginning, the first day, all the way to the end. Now, I will open up by saying is that you can go as many days as you want to go. It's totally up to you. The only thing we're asking for, again, for your family and friends, we'll do another meeting again, maybe sometime in January, February. But it's very important to let all your friends know and family members who are coming on this trip is that we want them to be with us for the 5 or 6 day window we have blocked off. You know, if they are doing something before, they want to do something after, that's totally up to them. But I will just throw this out right now. If we hear anybody pull this hold, let's say you live in Ramallah or you live in Tulkarm, wherever you may live, but if you pull this hold, I'm going to leave at 4 a.m. and get to Bethlehem, you just do your own thing. That's not a Team Palestine deal then, because all you're asking for is a lot of trouble. You are not going from Elmhurst to downtown for the Chicago Marathon. We kindly ask to stick with the itinerary that we have here for the Bethlehem itinerary. We feel it's a good one. We work really hard on it. We're not asking for a 15-day commitment. We're asking for a 5-day commitment to be in Bethlehem. So with that said, Suzanne has worked really hard on this itinerary and has worked really hard on this program. I'll pass it out right now, and we're going to go over that right now. Please welcome the one, the only Suzanne Nuss.
All right. Hi, everybody. Again, I echo Rush's sentiments. We appreciate you all being here. What you guys are seeing right now, it's not in color, but it's amazing. Rush put that together. It has all the information that you all are going to need about how to travel to Bethlehem. Our 5-day itinerary, we'd like you to do, we're going to check in, when we're checking out, the hotel stay, everything you need is in that information, and of course on our Team Palestine website. I didn't say hi to our viewers. We have some folks from South Africa, Cape Town, hopefully joining us, so hello to all of you. We have folks from Ohio joining us. Hi, Ines and your family and friends out there. We have folks from California, San Francisco, Mimi, good to see you. I can't see you, but hopefully you can see me. We have folks joining us from all over the country and abroad. So this is really huge. Applications are flowing in. I'm the recipient of those applications, and I'll talk about that application process, but I did want to give a shout out to our viewers. We have some local folks here in the Chicagoland area. Sorry. How are you? He couldn't make it with us, but he's also planning on joining us. He's officially registered. This is one of the first applications. So Thanks to all there. Before we get to our itinerary, I just want to say a little bit for those of you that are new to Team Palestine and are just joining us and running under the Team Palestine banner in Bethlehem. I just want to give you guys a little information. I know this isn't new to most of you that are sitting in this room, but for some of our viewers that are new to Team Palestine, a little bit about our team. So if you can just give me a second, I'm a note person. And yes, okay, so Team Palestine, as many of you know, and some of you because you've been with the team since this time, Team Palestine was formed in 2010 by some of the folks that you're seeing here in this room, Kayed, Rush, other folks. And so it's been around since 2010. Again, this might be new information for some of our viewers joining us. And Team Palestine was formed basically to help support the mission of the Palestine Children's Relief Foundation. Team Palestine has participated in over 40 races, which is amazing, since 2010, and has raised several hundreds of thousands of dollars to support the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. And so as Rush always says, when you're running with a purpose, it makes that much more of a difference, right? And I'm going to say a little bit about where our money is going to be going towards when we're running and raising funds to go to Bethlehem, because I think that's really important to make note of. Your pitch when you're raising money for Bethlehem, what your pitch should look like, and so that the folks you're asking to help support your race, they too know where the money is going. So that's really important. A little bit about the Right to Movement Marathon. How many of you have gotten on their website and are following them on Facebook? Yeah, they're a pretty amazing group, aren't they? So Right to Movement was actually formed about 3 years ago, okay? They held their first marathon. Let me go to my notes here. I believe it was in 2013, okay? Yes. So Right to Movement was formed in 2013. They had 700 individuals join their movement, which is pretty spectacular. They came back the following year in 2014. They had almost 3,000 folks run with them. That's huge. Okay. Then they came back this past year in March. They held their third Right to Movement Marathon, again hosting 3,000 individuals from 49 different countries. Lots of Europeans, lots of Americans, and lots of folks internally. Actually today, George, who we're going to be connecting with in Palestine, he was in Gaza this morning, and he got to run with Nader al-Masri, who was the winner of last year's Right to Movement Marathon. So that speaks volumes. And hopefully Nader will be able to come to Bethlehem again this year, and we'll be able to run alongside him. I won't, because obviously it's fast, right? But hopefully he'll be able to make it. So that's a little bit about the Right to Movement Marathon. Individuals can choose to participate on different levels, right? You can choose to do a half marathon, the full marathon, and the 10K, which is 6.2 miles, right? Okay. Some of you have been asking me before the meeting started, some of you were asking me, so the applicant, what are folks doing? Are they running the full marathon? I can tell you right now, most folks are either planning to run the 10K or the half marathon. It might be helpful to know that the streets of Bethlehem are hilly. It's a rough course, and George could probably speak a little bit more to that since he's ran the course before. The race starts and ends at the Church of Nativity, which is pretty symbolic in and of itself. Speaking of the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, we are probably going to be in the vicinity, if not passing up, the Huda al-Masri Pediatric Cancer Center. Okay. And we're actually, we'll get into the itinerary in a minute, we're actually going to have an opportunity to go to the Huda al-Masri Pediatric Cancer Center and visit with the children that receive services from that center. We're going to get to go to the Healing Garden, meet with the staff of the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, probably get a welcome from some founders of the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. So we're looking forward to that. They might even have some of the kids out there cheering us on, which is going to be really sweet and special and kind of help motivate us to keep going when we're starting to feel kind of tired and sore. So that's a little bit about the course. You know, Rush pointed out that in Palestine, because of occupation, the Palestinians don't have the ability, their constraints, one of their main constraints is that they can't move from point A to point B. And in running in Bethlehem, they couldn't even find the 26.2 miles for us to run. And so for those that are thinking of running the full marathon, and there are a couple of applicants that are, you're going to be doing 2 loops, okay? We're going to be running alongside the apartheid wall. We're going to be running through 2 refugee camps, okay? So when Rush says it's a run of a lifetime, and when Rush says you really, you know, PCRF is a non-political entity, it is, but the politics of that region is going to be glaring right in your face, right? And so for those of you that I've had come up to me and say, I've never been to Palestine, this is going to be huge for me. It is. Anytime people say to me that they're going back home to Palestine, I haven't been back home since 1999. But anytime I hear somebody say that they're going back home, I just start to smell the air. And I feel the ground, and I feel it. I can literally like feel and smell what Palestine tastes like and smells like. So it is going to be a run of a lifetime. And we're so excited, we're so thrilled, we feel so blessed that we're able to join this movement, to run under the banner of Team Palestine, to raise funds to support the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. So with that said, maybe we can turn to the booklet. And again, you know, you have that to take home and to look over it a little bit more closely. For our viewers online, if you have the opportunity to log on to or to get onto teampalestine.com, you can follow our itinerary on teampalestine.com. For those of you sitting in the room, you can go ahead and just kind of follow the very nice magazine that Rush put together for us. So as Rush said, itinerary, you all can choose to go earlier, you all can choose to stay later. But Team Palestine and PCRF folks are only going to be present for those 5 days to support this initiative and support the itinerary and to be there to kind of walk alongside you in this endeavor, in this marathon, okay? Rush also made another good point. Several of us have family members out there. Maybe we have homes out there and we're looking to go and stay in our homes, okay, or stay with family members. We are, again, kindly and strongly encouraging you and urging you to check in with us on Wednesday, March 30th at the Jasir Palace Hotel, and to stay with us until Sunday, April 3rd. That's what we're checking out, okay? So let's start with step 1. Step 1 is with teampalestine.com. Fill out the application, complete the application in its entirety. For those of you that either don't have a passport or have a passport that's expired, you needed to have yesterday or the day before have renewed that passport or started the process of getting a passport, okay? So if you've never had one and you need one, get started on that process right now. If you have one and it's expired, you need to renew it and you need to do it today, okay? Your passport has to be valid at least 6 months past your stay. Does that make sense? We already talked about that, right? Rush already talked about that, right? Yes, some of us can get denied at the airport and get sent back. Some of us are going to be sitting at a checkpoint for hours before they let us pass the checkpoint. Some of us might be sitting in the airport itself for anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, and then they let us go. There are always these risks, there are always these chances. And when you get the Team Palestine application, hopefully you all are reading it thoroughly because we make note of that in the application.
Yeah, and to talk about the psychology of Tel Aviv,
yes,
I would say most of the time, if you kind of smart off or you're kind of showing defiance to them, that's what's going to land you in the hole with them.
Yes.
I mean, you really got to kill them with kindness. If you kill them with kindness, it's a very good chance that you're going to be in and out. But if you kind of start spraying off with them, you start showing that you're irritated, then once they see that, then they got you. So little things like that.
But people have been turned back with 8 months, 9 months left.
They can turn you back as little as going on your Facebook page. Right. They can go on your Facebook page, see that you have some random posts about, you know, anti-Israel or pro-Palestine posts, and that can be enough for them to turn you back. And this is why we want to establish that. We want to sugarcoat the really cool things about the trip, but but we can't sugarcoat the reality of the trip, and that
That's
is there are some hurdles.
And just from experience, I know when I travel, I log out of
Yes. Thank you, Iman. Several people deactivate their accounts ahead of time, so some of you might want to consider that. Guys, this is the reality, and we're just gonna get a taste, we're just gonna get a sample of what our brothers and sisters in Palestine go through, right? And so we're letting you know verbally, we're letting you know on the application, these are the risks that we are going to be taking and going to Palestine to run this marathon. And everybody needs to be aware of those risks. So we're saying it to you verbally. We've talked about it in small groups with one another about these risks and these challenges. And we have them, and you initial in your application that you have read and you understand that there is a chance that you're going to be turned away at the airport. There is a chance that you're going to be sitting at a checkpoint for 4 hours, right? There's a chance that, you know, things back home are going to escalate more than they are right now.
Look, I know this is an extra expense, and we all of us are paying attention to the budget when it comes to the flight, when it comes to the hotel. I would strongly recommend to buy insurance with your flight. You know, it's probably $50 or $60 extra. It's worth every penny. God forbid if March comes around and somehow, some way they say it's canceled, and at least you know at $50, $60, you're going to get a refund and you're going to have peace of mind. So I would say, we can't force you to do it. I think it's a no-brainer. Go ahead and just purchase that insurance just in case.
Let me say, sorry, yes, please. People can travel any route that they choose. Some folks go in through Jordan, through Amman. What are some other points of entry?
It's really, I mean, you could maybe do Egypt, but really Jordan is your. How many? Let me ask. Let's do a little poll. How many people are doing Tel Aviv? All right. How many people are doing Jordan? Okay. That's why for us, you know, we talked about this. You know, let's coordinate a trip where everybody just goes together, holding hands, kumbaya. That's not the truth. You know, all we want is to follow that 5-day window. How you get there is you can take a boat if you want. It's all good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I do want.
Meeting on one of some of my audience.
I do want to say this. I have a question. No. Okay. I do want to say this for those of you that are following the Right to Movement running group in Bethlehem, in Beit Jala. They're out there running several times a week, which says a lot. Right? That's not to discount that in the surrounding cities, the surrounding villages, there are protests and things are heated on the streets. Now, it hasn't been called officially a third intifada. There are still, there hasn't been consensus that what's going on back home is a third intifada. There are protests in the street. But in Bethlehem, in Beit Sahur, and Beit Jala, where they are running and where they are training, they're out there. You know, they're doing their thing. So that says something to me. You know, some parts of Palestine might be a little bit quieter than others, and some parts are definitely more heated. So something to take into account. You know, again, I follow them, and even if I don't see a post, I hop on just to see what's going on, and I see them training. You know, George is posting all the time that they're out there in the streets running. So that says a lot to me. That makes me feel kind of hopeful. You know. I think that's a question.
You know, when you make your reservations, the minute, I say this because I'm in the travel industry and I deal with military people that travel. The minute you make your reservation, they're looking up who you are.
Right.
It goes into their database the second your reservation is made. So don't think that you can hide your Facebook stuff from now till then, because that's when they start looking at everything. And also when you want to renew your passports, January is the hardest month to get your passport turned around fast, which is why she's encouraging you to do it now. If you go to the U.S. Department's website, there's a way to complete it and print out a PDF to take to your post office. You want to do that, not handwrite it, because it barcodes it and the process is faster than handwritten. You've got to do that because January is the worst time to renew your passport, so you're ready 1 week out from the holidays. Yeah.
Thank you. Very good point. You know, I'm not sure. Can our viewers hear the questions?
They can hear it a little bit, but
okay.
Whoever's talking here is
okay.
a lot better. So.
Okay, so I'll try to remember to repeat maybe the question or the comments from folks that are in-house that our viewers are following along as well. But thank you, Natalie. That was a very good point. She was just, again, reiterating the importance of getting your passport started now, getting that process started now. So again, complete the Team Palestine application is to officially go to the PalestineMarathon.com website and officially register for the race, which is exciting, okay? You will get a confirmation code. Maybe check back. Okay, we're back. Okay. So once you officially register at PalestineMarathon.com for the 10K, the half, or the full, you'll code from them, and I'm asking you to then email you can email, her name is Rana, okay, so it's going to be attention Rana, that should be in the newsletter. If not, it's definitely online at teampalestine.com. You're going to be emailing Rana. She's the reservation manager there, and the email address is reservation@jasirpalace.ps. reservation@jasirpalace.ps. Again, it's all online at teampalestine.com. But here's the key thing. When you email her to register and get your discounted hotel stay, you want to use the code phrase PCRF Team Palestine so you can get your discounted rates. Okay? With that said, sounds like we might be getting George on, so maybe a second we'll get him. Keep going. Okay. All right. So use hotel rates. In your hands, okay? So please make use of that connection with Ahmed at Jet Travels. Are we back on?
Yeah, you're back on.
Okay, so I was just saying, book your airfare, jet travel, ask for Ahmed. Again, the information is on teampalestine.com. He's willing to give Team Palestine folks discounted rates on airfare, okay? We already talked about making sure your passport is valid and up to date. Now, fundraising. We have to remember, we are raising money for the Palestine and if you run the Chicago Marathon, right, the minimum was 1,000. Marathon, it was 500. All the costs, personally, you know, with the trail, this kind of stuff, we really did leave the fundraising cost at a minimum, and that's $300. But I know all of you always go above and beyond. And I think the fact that you're going to be going to Bethlehem to run and to raise money, does anybody know what we're raising money for? Where's this money going towards? The hospital, the new hospital, right? The new pediatric oncology department that PCRF is looking to build in Gaza. So it's going to model, it's going to mimic, right? Huda al-Masri, so we know they've been successful already, right? And so they're looking to model and to mimic the Huda al-Masri Pediatric Cancer Center that exists right now in Beit Jala, and they're looking to build a new one in Gaza. So you want to push that, you want to advertise for that in your fundraising efforts. The fundraising page, I want to thank Randa, who worked really closely. I want to thank Nadia, if she's logged in Chile, for work. Minimum that we put out for each individual. And then train, get out there and train hard. We're so lucky here in Chicago. We haven't had any blizzards or snowstorms or anything like that. I'm not trying to jinx us, but it's been great. And I think, you know, the universe is saying to us, this is going to work for you guys. We're giving you this awesome weather, and the universe is saying, take advantage of it. You're going to go, and this marathon is going to take place, and you're going to be there, and you're going to run under the Team Palestine banner, and you're going to represent strong. The Palestine Children's really fun, and have fun doing it, and meet some amazing people along the way. So get your training in if you haven't started. I know we've been out there on Sundays, and many of you are doing your own trainings on your own time. So get that training in, start fundraising, invite others, start out there. Like Rush said, we're going, whether it's the two of us and our families, or it's everybody in this room and all our folks abroad in other parts of the U.S., we're going, right? So please spread the word and invite others to join our movement. Our philosophy is every mile saves a child, right? That's Team Palestine's philosophy. That's our motto. That's what keeps us motivated. I think I want to close by reading the manifesto and the philosophy and the mission of Right to Movement. It gives me the chill every time I read it. So I want to share that with you guys. Their manifesto reads, we call on runners of all levels. We run to manifest our right to movement. We run for those and with those who are deprived of that right. We run to tell a different story. We run to build bridges instead of walls. We run to inspire you. Every time I read it. So hold on to that. Hold on to our team motto that every mile saves a child. We're going to see these children. We're going to interact with them. It's going to be great. Unless you wanted me to cover anything else, unless you all had some additional questions or thoughts. Yeah. Yes.
But it's just to give you an example, but if you want a Team Palestine application, there, you could fill it out right there. It's the first step.
That's the very first step. Yep. And then I'll generate an email back to you. You know, I always say to people, even if you're on the fence, 50% sure you're going, 60% sure you're going, that does not commit you. Filling out the application does not commit you, but it gets the ball going. It's kind of like you putting the energy out to the universe and saying, I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking strongly about this, I'm still a little not sure, but I'm going to go ahead and throw my application in. Then the next step would be to pay. You might be out $65, $85, even if you change your mind, right? Rush had a great suggestion. Insurance on your fear, either because something personal and life happens and you decide to go, or a marathon, right? But the first step to putting that energy out to the universe, you're going to run under the Team Palestine banner, is to complete that application. It doesn't commit you in any way. I'll be giving you feedback back and forth. Many of you, I know you get Facebook messages from me every other day or once or twice a week saying, hey, where's your application? Hey, where's your confirmation code? Hey, did you book your travel? I just want to keep that energy going, right, and that momentum going. So not trying to harass anybody. Don't file a lawsuit.
When is the deadline? So everybody knows, what's the deadline to turn in that application? Because you could wait all the way 2 weeks, 3 weeks for the race to register. I don't think it closes. You know,
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Let me say
what
this.
about the application?
I want to follow the deadline of the first week of February. That's when your hotel needs to be booked. So why don't we follow that deadline? First week of February, I want to say it's February 7th that we're going to release the rooms that we reserved under the Team Palestine name. So I would say get that application in by February 7th and get that hotel room reserved.
That's a good idea. And I once the hotel, first of all, is beautiful. The location is perfect. It's the equivalent of Michigan for Chicago. You know, find yourself having a shot, to be honest. The Bethlehem experts here. So I'm with you. To me, this is crucial because we're talking about, you know, all the technicalities and the way things are with potentially checkpoints, but really the training is very, very important. So I wanted to ask you, when it comes to what's the one thing, the most important thing you know when it comes to training for a course like this that's going to have what's considered a really tough hills?
Well, there's a couple of great training programs out there. I'm sure you guys, some of you are seasoned half marathons and that place. But hellhating.com, have you been on that website? They have a novice and beginner program. Now, this course is very hilly.
Yes.
A great place to train would be where our Turkey Trot race is. Don't you know where that is?
Yeah.
It's a 4-mile loop that has 13 hills. Okay. And then we also have a 6-mile loop with 15 hills. So it's 123rd and 89th Avenue. People run 8-minute pace and people run 13-minute pace. You know, it's nice to get together if you have someone to do a long run together. You know, it's tough to run 18, 20 miles by yourself, but if you move 2, 3, 4 people in a group, then you start to cheer it up, and then all of a sudden, believe it or not, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to be honest, guys. You gotta put a little time into it.
So we just got some tips from for Mary Mouse for our okay, and this again is at cpalestine.com for folks that are online. So we're going to check Wednesday, March 30th. For those of us that are just oriented, that's going to be just a quiet check-in orientation day. Just a meet and greet Wednesday, March 30th. Just kind of getting settled. The streets of Bethlehem and the shops, the market. Okay. I buy some fun things. Also going to be yesterday. Staff members welcome us. Hopefully, it's supposed to be here. Give us a nice warm welcome. Meet the children. Hang out with them in the healing garden. I know some here have been there, right? In person, it's very emotional. So that would be really, that's going to be really great and perfect, right? The day before the marathon, again, to motivate us and to inspire us and to remind us why we're running. Works out. Friday, April 1st, race day. All right, so we don't want to be partying the night before because the party will come after the race. We're going to have a post-race party. We're going to celebrate. And that also is being planned and it's in the works. So Friday, Now again, this all depends for, I've been in communication back and forth with alternative track.
I haven't been out of the U.S. before. First trip to Palestine.
Oh my God!
Mexico, well, Mexico and Canada.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah. How about it, huh?
We're gonna have fun.
seriously, guys, if you are planning on going, and I can easily answer that because a lot of people are extremely familiar with Chicago. We know the difference between north side and south side. You know, say 47th and Damon or whatever, we know that. In the way, let's be honest, we don't know exactly.
Where?
We can't pinpoint where things go down. So, yeah, I'm well aware that there's a crime 9 miles east here in Chicago, a whole other world. But for somebody where it's territory, like it's yourself, yeah, I mean, we want to be transparent and say, yeah, the area we're in, it's a high-end tourist area or tourist area there. But on the other hand, it is important to say, hey, you know, yeah.
Is that? No.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
That's where the most of the
Sorry.
Yeah, and we want to keep it real, but not too real. Thank God we're offline.
Yeah.
No matter
No,
if you go or you
I
don't
know.
Look, all right, look, I'm just going to be honest with you. Train on the hills and make sure you have armor geared on as well, okay? Imagine how good you're going to be.